everybody, welcome to ABC Gluten Free. Thank you for joining us today, and yes, we are having action. Today is a little bit of everything of my favorite things because we're celebrating my birthday, right? Yeah! So we hope you enjoy the recipes that we have in store for you, and we hope that you guys BYON.
Bring your own napkin.
Because you're definitely going to be drooling. The first thing that we're actually going to get started on is one of my favorite things. It's a little mini pizza. We call them pizzettes. And we're just going to get started on the dough for you first. So Jeremiah's going to get me some ingredients. We need yeast, of course, and a little bit of warm water, and our gluten-free flour. Jeremiah got the water and the flour and the yeast. You get me the water, please, in a bowl. All right, so to start off, a lot of recipes may have They may have instructions for you to not proof your yeast, and all I'm going to say to you is from many, many years of experience and failures, proof your yeast. Because if you do all of that work, you pay for all of the ingredients, and you put everything into that dough, mix it all up, and then expect it to rise, if the yeast is not good, you're going to be very sorry because what you're going to have is probably breadcrumbs. If you can make that with what you've made.
Very flour.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is, we have one package of gluten-free yeast. Cut it and put it in here. And we have a few tablespoons of water. We're going to put maybe half a cup of water. Jeremiah, we need a sprinkle of sugar and a pinch of salt. So Sophia's going to do that, and Sophia, you're going to just mix that in there. Get a spoon. Alright, so we use the sugar to activate the yeast because yeast feeds off of sugar. So you can put a little bit more. So what we do is just sprinkle a little bit of sugar in the yeast and a pinch of salt just for flavoring. Go ahead and stir that up a little bit. And when you're letting your yeast rise, it's really important to keep it someplace warm and covered. So there's a few different ways that you can cover your dough, and that's completely up to you. But it's going to be covered with plastic first, always, and then with a towel. Your towel can either be a wet towel heated in the microwave for 2 or 3 minutes, and then you cover it over the top, and then you put another towel over to keep the warmth in. Or you could just cover it with a regular towel in a regular, like on top of the stove or on the side of your kitchen. Make sure it's just not hot, the oven is not on, otherwise you'll kill all of your yeast. Okay, stop mixing. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're just going to let this sit. I'm going to just drizzle a little bit of olive oil in there, just because I like to. I think olive oil goes with everything. We have our gorgeous De La Rosa Mediterranean olive oil. Just leave it. Just leave the spoon and leave it. Alright, so now what we're going to do is cover this with a towel, and we're going to let it sit. So Sophia, take this out. Jeremiah, can you cover that? Just with a towel. No, I want it to sit here because I want them to be able to see it bloom. So what you see now is just liquid. It's kind of like muddy liquid. Would you like to go show them that, please? Go show them our muddy liquid. And you don't have to incorporate the yeast completely. It's going to do its own thing. So we've got tilted a little bit, tilted, back up a little bit, back up a little bit. There you go. So you've got a little bit of muddy water. And that muddy water is going to bloom into something spectacular to make your dough perfect. So put it right here, Sophia. Sophia. Put it right over here, honey. Good girl. All right, we're going to cover that up, and then what we're going to do is kind of fast forward a little bit. Jeremiah's going to give us a baking sheet, and we're going to get started on making the actual pizzettes. Sophie, you ready to make pizzettes?
Yeah.
Jeremiah, I'll take a baking sheet, and Sophie, you're going to brush that with some olive oil. Take the brush. And what we're going to do is just brush our cookie sheet, or pizza sheet, whatever you want to call it. Oh wait, no, I want to use the screen, right?
I'm gonna use my carrot.
A nicer, crisper pizza crust you're going to get with a pizza screen. Now, if you're not familiar with a pizza screen, we use these in the restaurant business all the time. So being that we had a pizza place, you can put that down. We had a lot of pizza screens. Some of them are very thin, some of them are thick, some of them are just kind of like this one where you can brush the pizza screen with olive oil, but you don't have to because it kind of gets seasoned with that flour and all that stuff in and out of the pizza oven, so we don't have to do that.
Oh, I want to.
Okay, you're gonna behave, right? Let go. All right. So Jeremiah, where are you going with that? I need it back when you're done. All right, so what we're gonna do is just roll out our dough. Sophie, you wanna go get the dough? We're gonna show them how nice it is.
Where's the?
You'll have to find it. It's a treasure hunt. Where's the dough? Where's the dough? Where's the dough? Oh, I think she found it. Bring it up front. Thank you. Bring the dough up front. We're gonna roll out. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Really like.
Okay, so what we have here is our big dough,
Can
and you
I
can see
show
that
them?
it's. Yeah, you want to show them? Just careful when you tilt it over. We're going to put some flour on our table here. That's been rising for about an hour and a half. So you have a risen pizza dough, and gluten-free pizza dough is a little bit different than regular dough. Regular dough at this point you would punch it down and then rework it and then let it rise again. We're not going to do that today. It's okay, baby. I don't mind. We're going to just roll it out. And we're going to cut. We're going to kind of make our own little shapes. You want round? You want round pizza? I love little pizzettes because not only do you get to make your own individual version, just a minute, yeah. You get to make your own individual version. You also get to just put almost the whole thing right in your mouth. So what we're gonna do is just pat this out a little bit. Now on the back burner, Jeremiah's gonna get started on caramelizing our onions because caramelized onions, caramelized apples, as you can see we have apples here, we went apple picking, and a little bit of fake goat cheese. It's gonna be so delicious on our pizza. Why? Now he'll eat it. All right, so what we're gonna do, Sophia, is you're gonna just take off a piece and turn it into what you want, your little pizza. You can do whatever size you want. And we're gonna make our own little pizzas. We're gonna bake the pizza dough first in the oven, and then we're kinda gonna just top it with what we want. I'm gonna top mine, of course, with that delicious caramelized onions. Hopefully Jeremiah is okay over there because onions make me cry. So you guys know that I won't be doing those on the show anytime soon. Usually gluten-free grandma cuts them up for us when we need them. So to make your little pizza, you're just gonna take a ball of that dough off.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's great. And you're gonna make a nice little round here, and you're gonna put it right on your pizza screen. Now the gluten-free
Bobby, how big do you want
gluten-free
it?
pizza dough is a little bit different from regular pizza dough, but you can still stretch it and pull it and then re-incorporate it if you make any rips or any boo-boos.
Big?
No, not big. We're making pizzettes. We're making little ones.
Pizzas are supposed to be little, so
Yeah,
this is
it's
probably
a
the
small
biggest little
pizza,
one.
mini pizza. No, pizza is a mini pizza. Yeah, no, just make them a small one. Don't ask them. We're not taking orders. This is not the drive-through. Okay. So now you saw how we put that out. You could have made a nice big pizza from that, just from that pizza dough right there, or you can do your own little pizzettes. Sophia, easy, honey. And make sure you have some flour that you can work with so it's not sticking to your fingers.
What?
You want to make sure it's not sticking to your fingers. What are you doing? What'd she say?
I don't know what she said. You have to say it louder.
All right, so
No.
maybe you flatten it out, it won't puff up anymore. So you can actually let these sit and rise for a little bit. We're gonna ask Jeremiah to turn the oven on to 425, and I should have done that a lot earlier because we're gonna get these into the oven as soon as it's ready. Really, the hotter the oven for pizza dough, the better. So a regular pizza oven is about 550 to 650 degrees, and those are regular pizza ovens that you see in restaurants, pizza places. They even have tabletop versions with that nice slab of stone inside of it that we used to use at some of the shows that we did, and that was for gluten-free. And if you want your pizza oven clean and non-contaminated, you need to do it yourself at home. So if you have someone that can do a nice brick oven for you in your backyard, or you can just use your, yeah, that's what I want. Or you can just use your regular oven and turn it up as hot as you can get it. Our oven goes to about 550, I think. But I don't want to sweat while I'm talking to you guys, so break it in half. So I'm going to actually just do 475, and that should let these puff up really nice. Hopefully we'll have a nice little pizzette to top with our caramelized onions and our apples. Just roll it out, honey. Now, as we're sitting here, I can see the dough puffing up a little bit more while we're just working right now. So we have a good good temperature today in the house. We also have a good temperature outside. It's not too hot, not too cold.
These two are mine that I made.
Oh, those are nice, honey. Good job. So when you make your dough, you can do so many different things with it. You can roll it over, make a little pocket. You can make yourself a huge calzone. It's totally up to you. But this pizza dough would just be a basic crust. And the only difference that we did in here is we added our gluten-free flour and we added some garlic and some Italian seasoning. You can do some cheese if you do dairy. Grate some cheese right into that dough. It's really going to make it yummy and delicious. Or you can just do it plain and keep it the way that it is. If you wanted to, you can also do a sweetened version, and you can do a little bit of sugar and a little bit of spices in that dough, and then do a sweet one instead of a savory. And you can have a little sweet version of your pizzette for dessert. We're not going to do that today, but we're definitely going to do that one other day. Here, add this to yours. Add this to whatever you have. Here. Go here. Go here. Go here. Put this in there. All right, so our dough is done. Made about 2, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. We probably could have made 12 with that. We got about 11, but we have 2 or 3 little kind of big ones, so that's okay. I'm going to get rid of our bowl because we're going to move on to our next thing after we get done with our pizzettes, and I don't need this. So I remember actually growing up, it was the most fun was to roll out dough, was to make cookies, and anything you can do to do with your hands and food, because you know, whenever you're sitting at the table and you're little, it's always don't play with your food, don't touch your food. You're not supposed to touch your food with your hands. Okay? So when you get to touch your food with your hands, it's a lot of fun and we enjoy it. All right, Sophia's gonna brush these with a little bit of olive oil on the top.
With my carrot.
With your carrot.
This is a very special hairbrush because I love carrots from Mom and Dad.
Yes, her and Daddy love their carrots. And
Raw.
Maya's allergic to raw carrots, so we have an interesting time with carrots in our house. All right, so once she's done with that, I'm just gonna kind of pick up this towel and show you. Hopefully, it takes about 5 to 7 minutes for your yeast to bloom. Hopefully your water was just warm, not hot, not cold, and that your yeast was alive and active. So if you have an active yeast, you're gonna have a good pizza crust. Now we already bloomed ours and did that for this crust when we let it rise about an hour and a half on the back. And we know that it's ready and it's gonna be good. If you have one that doesn't bloom and it doesn't expand and kind of foam up, then you know you need to get rid of that and start over again. But thankfully you didn't start over when you already cooked your pizzettes and you were gonna go eat them and they were just kind of flat crackers. You don't want that. How you doing? Good? You almost done? All right. Yeah, that's it. All right, so we're gonna let these sit a little bit. Let me have this. Now you're done, right? Wait, let me see. This one's a little dry right here. We're gonna let those sit. We're not gonna touch them. You have to leave them because otherwise, if you start pressing down on this, it's gonna get stuck under the pizza screen, and then you'll have dough that's stuck in here. I'm just explaining to them, and then you won't be able to get your dough off. It'll be a little bit difficult. You'll lose your pizza.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna put this in the back.
Yeah.
You can put that in as soon as the oven's ready. All right, so let's see if our yeast is starting to bubble. Look, we've got little foam, just a little bit. We still need more time. So we're gonna just cover that with a towel and we'll put it to the side because we really don't need this right now, but we're gonna need it later for gluten-free Dad because we have to make sure we take care of him and we have to make sure we give gluten-free Grandma enough pizza, otherwise she won't be able to clean up the kitchen. Okay, so we'll put this over here.
Next thing.
Okay, so our next thing is that we're going to leave this because we're gonna actually use this for our cannoli shells. You ready to make cannoli shells? You sure? You sure? Ready? Let's go. All right, so we need a bowl. Okay, so we have a bowl. We have our sifter. Let me just fix my...
Time to sift. Sift it feeling.
All right, so for our cannoli shells, this is a old technique, and my grandmother used to do it, and it says it on every kind of package that you can imagine. You're going to sift about 1 cup to 1.5 cups of your gluten-free flour. about 2 tablespoons of sugar. You can use whatever sugar you like. You can use powdered sugar, raw sugar, coconut sugar. It's totally up to you. You can use white sugar if you like. Okay, let me get in there. So that's 2 tablespoons. Now you just sip in there. Where's the salt?
It's snowing!
It's snowing, yay! Jeremiah's happy. That means he can go snowboarding. It's snowing.
No, it's snowing in the bowl.
We're going to do a pinch of salt. Now here's where it gets a little bit different. Normally my grandmother, she would put an egg in it. We're going to do an egg-free version, so we're going to use applesauce. I have about 2 tablespoons of applesauce, and I have one that has a little cinnamon in it. Normally I would put cinnamon into the batter.
I'm the applesauce person.
Okay. Normally I would put a little bit of a pinch of cinnamon into it, but since it's in here, I don't need to. Don't stir it with milk, okay? Don't stir it yet, though. All right, so we've got the applesauce. We have our earth balance. We're going to do it without the butter. We could use Kerrygold. We could use our buffalo butter. What do you want to use? You want to use Kerrygold? Okay. So you guys can substitute for your earth balance, whichever one that you like. You can use your regular dairy butter. It's totally up to you. Okay. All right, so we're going to use our Kerrygold today. Normally you would melt a little bit, so what I'm going to do is take my bowl. We had our little bit of olive oil in there. I'm going to cut off a little chunk of butter. It's about 2 ounces, 2 to 4 ounces.
A hunk of butter.
A hunk of
burning love.
Go ahead, put that in the microwave for about 10
This is
seconds.
a hunk of burning love.
No, it's not. So that's 2 tablespoons of butter. And then we're going to be using our white wine.
How much, Mom?
10 seconds. If you don't have white wine, today we're using the white Christmas wine. It's from Italy. And if you don't have white wine, you can use seltzer, which we have here, just a regular plain seltzer. You can even use an apple cider if you like, or you can just go for a vodka if you have a vodka. One of those 3 things would work perfectly fine. Okay, oh, go a little bit more, go to 22 seconds. All right, so far we have in here our gluten-free flour, a pinch of salt, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and we have about 2 tablespoons of applesauce instead of our egg. Now, if you can do eggs, go ahead and put your 1 egg in there, beat it up first, and then put it in, and add it in with your butter, and then we're going to do the white wine. So let me grab the white wine, because I have it in the fridge.
Mama, you're using wine?
Yeah, always use white wine. So you want to keep it cold, because what it's going to do is it's going to start to firm up. That butter in there, after you melt it in, it's going to firm up, and it's going to make a nice dough. Good girl, you got it? Okay, you want me to do it? You don't need to stir, just put it right in there. Sophia's going to start stirring. You want to use just the knife to do it? Instead of the spoon, stir that up. Normally we would put it on the table and do it with our hands, just like my grandmother used to do it, and my brother and I, when we would try to make cannolis, we would make a big mound of flour. Of course it was gluten flour. And then we would just put the eggs right in the middle, just like we were making pasta. And then we would just kind of sprinkle the wine on it, or the seltzer, whatever it is that we had in the house that we could find. All right, you ready? Now I'm going to just add the white wine a little bit at a time. No, I don't think so anyway. It doesn't smell anyway.
Stick it on my lip.
Okay, smell the sugar, maybe you'll feel better.
That's flour.
All right, smell the apple, maybe it'll feel better. So we did go apple picking for my birthday. We got a variety of delicious apples.
We got Golden
And-
Delicious, Granny Smith, Burburn, and that.
Rayburn, yep. And then we went to the farmer's market, and our favorite farmer, Christina Krowicki, we got some apples from her. We got some gorgeous tomatoes and onions that we're going to be caramelizing. And this is our tomato sauce that we jar up. And this is the simplest thing that you guys can do, and I'm sure you'll be very thankful that you've done it. Just roast some tomatoes. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, whoa. Just a little bit. That should be it now. So just roast up those tomatoes, get them nice and charred. Just add some garlic and a little bit of spices.
I think I
Put them into a jar, and you've got your delicious tomato sauce that's really fresh. Go ahead, do your hands. And actually, Jeremiah's going to put this in a pot in the back, because we're going to use this for one of our items we're doing today if we have time. these gorgeous peppers. We have some roasted peppers and some roasted tomatoes that Jeremiah can just kind of mash up, and we can put on our pizzettes if we want, or we can put on something else that we have to do today. We'll see if we get time to do everything. So being that it was my birthday, we celebrate a lot, right? We did a lot of different things this week.
And on Saturday, tomorrow, she has a special surprise.
Ooh, I got a special surprise.
I don't know what it is, but Daddy
that's
said
good. Daddy didn't tell me.
Daddy said we're going somewhere.
Okay. That's good, honey. Mommy will do this now. Yeah. Okay, so we've got our beautiful cannoli dough. Now, this really needs to go in the refrigerator and rest. It needs to go in plastic and rest in the refrigerator. So what we're going to do, yeah, get plastic wrap. It's right there. I'm just going to show you one. I'm going to do one for you because we have them prepared already.
Already.
Okay. I'm going to show you one. Well, you want to give me the plastic wrap or no?
No.
Well, hold it for me, please. We're going to put this in the refrigerator. Now, a regular, original Italian cannoli recipe, you have to have that white wine. It's really called sauntering wine, and it gives it that little puckers that you see in those cannolis when you get them in the Italian market. So you have to have that little pop of bubble in there. You okay? Did you hurt yourself? All right. Can you just wait? I'm going to do the first one. All right, so we had enough for two. This should make about 16 to 18 cannolis, that one batter that one dough that we gave you. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll it in. You want to do it with Mommy? Roll it nice into a round circle first. You're going to flour your bench a little bit, press it out, turn it over, press it out again. You want to keep, what's the matter? Oh, just put them in for like 15 minutes. So we're putting the pizzettes in the oven. Jeremiah's got them, they're ready to go. The oven's hot. We've brushed them with our olive oil, and he's getting them in the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes until they're ready. And I'm sorry, I'm pointing the cannoli shaft. We're going to roll this out. Now this is the actual tube that you use to wrap the cannoli and fry it. But you can use this to roll out your cannoli if you like. We do have a rolling pin, just in case you wanted to see. Where did I put it? I put it somewhere. It's here somewhere, but you can use this also. And that'll give you a good gauge for the size that you need to use. So if you need to be putting flour and flipping it, honey, so it doesn't stick. So originally the cannoli shape needs to be an oval. So the shape of your dough needs to begin to make an oval shape. And if you're not doing that, then you have to turn it and roll it. That's really good, but you're not done. Okay, so you have to turn it and roll it. You want to make sure that the shape is oval as best as you can. If you want nice clean edges, you can go ahead and use a cutter. We have a nice little, this was my grandmother's little ravioli cutter. Just a moment, please. And I'm just going to cut around. That'll give your cannoli a very pretty appearance. You guys know I'm not usually into the appearance of things. I'm more of a rustic because I'm not a fine artist, but I like that little edge. And we're going to wrap it around the cannoli shell, the cannoli tube, I'm sorry. And you're going to close off the end here. And how I like to close off the end is I just turn it and I press down a little bit, and then it's closed. And now we flute out the edges. Yeah. We flute out the edges so that we can fill those cannolis with the delicious cream. Yeah. Oh, I gotta close mine again. If yours doesn't close, just press, press, press until it does. Okay, and we're fluting out the edges just like I showed you. And that gives it that openness so you can put that tube in there and fill it with the cannoli cream, which is what we're gonna do later. And then this is actually ready for the fryer. Yeah, baby, good girl. So Sophia has her beautiful cannoli that she made, and she fluted the edges. It's gonna be gorgeous. And I have mine. Whoa, mine's coming up over there.
Your beautiful cannoli.
My beautiful cannoli is going crazy. And when you fry it, you want to put it in the basket with the seam down. So we're going to put it in the basket with the seam down, and they're going to go in the fryer for about 3 to 5 minutes. Can I get the other one? And I'm going to let those go. No, we can put all this away, and we're going to clean up our counter now because we're going to get ready for another thing. Put this in the fridge.
I thought you said we were going to get ready to eat.
Oh, she thought we were ready to eat. I wish we were ready to eat. We hope you guys are enjoying the show, but I am getting hungry, I have to say. It makes you so hungry when you're cooking and smelling food all of the time. I feel like I'm hungry all the time, and Sophia, right? We like to eat all the time, right? So we'll put this to the side for now because we don't need it. And we're gonna clean up our counter.
I don't have caramel in my mouth.
Sophia's sneaking food. She's sneaking food. Sophia, would you get the scraper, please? It's over there.
Don't I always?
She's sneaking food. So originally we were gonna do a whole bunch of apple stuff, and I really love apples, and I love to go apple picking for my birthday. But I decided that I wanted to just do some of my favorite things, which are the pizzettes and cannolis. I consider my birthday to be National Cannoli Day. I don't care what it says on the calendar.
Am I doing this
I
right?
pick, yeah, you're doing it right. So I picked my birthday as National Cannoli Day, and since I share the birthday month with my brother, and we both love cannolis, we both can enjoy them, and they're going to be gluten-free, and no one's going to even care. So we're going to have a good old time with our cannolis. All right, and I also like to make something with fruits and vegetables, and you know how I feel about that. 9 to 13 servings a day is FDA standards, and nobody hits that amount. Most people that I ask how many fruits and vegetables a day do you think you're supposed to eat, the number that they say is, go ahead and guess. I want you guys to see if you can guess. I'll tell you at the end of the show. So remind me to tell you at the end of the show. Remind me, okay? I'll tell them at the end of the show. You'll be very surprised at the number. I think you'll be shocked. But I think you have to remember the fact that you don't count ketchup, you don't count salsa,
You don't
you can't count those
mustard.
as fruits and vegetables.
Can't
Mustard.
count mustard.
No, you don't count mustard.
Can't
All right,
count
so
mango and peach
Are you
salsa.
ready? Are you ready for our next event, Sophia? Yeah.
Apple.
Okay, our cannoli shells are almost done.
Apple.
Apples, all right. The next thing we're gonna do is caramel apples. Are you ready? Yeah, okay. Sophia's gonna get this stuff ready for the caramel apples. Bring all this stuff over, honey. Now, you know when you go gluten-free, getting a or even dairy-free, gluten dairy-free, or just vegan. Yeah, we'll use that. Now, getting caramel apple out is pretty much impossible. The other thing about getting caramel apples is they're filled with so much stuff. High fructose corn syrup, or you know, other kinds of syrups that are made, corn syrup and brown rice syrup and all those kind of things. So today we're opting for cocoa melts, and we know that this has the brown rice syrup in it and everything, but it's organic. We prefer that if we're going to eat junk food.
Organic coconut.
We prefer that it has to be organic, even though it is sugar and all that other stuff.
Daddy thinks caramel's made out of the caramel.
Yeah, okay.
Daddy's just
So what we're
being
gonna do is
funny,
take,
though.
yeah, he's just being funny. We're gonna take the caramels, we're gonna use about 5 per apple, and we're gonna unwrap those. We
So
have parchment
10?
paper. No, just 5 right here.
Yeah, but we're making 2 apples,
Fine,
so
right
it's
here.
10.
Okay. We're gonna put 5 on our parchment piece of paper. We have it on a dish.
Stop!
Am I out? And this dish is gonna go into the microwave for about 22 seconds. Now, there's a longer way you can do this if you want. Unwrap the caramels, melt them on the stove, and then pour them onto the parchment paper. That's the longer way to do it. When you have kids or you want to snack right away, sometimes the microwave is necessary. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we do 4 caramels and then 1 in the middle. Can you see that? And I'll show you because I'll hold it like this and show you. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 in the middle. And these slide off all the time. We're gonna go put this in the microwave. Oh, listen to me. 25 seconds in the microwave. Jeremiah, don't take any. And the really cool thing is Cocoa Melts has a few different flavors. So I can do my caramel apple with the espresso one, and I can have a chocolate coffee caramel apple, which is like one of the best things you can have. We're gonna use our little apples because I don't want the kids having too much caramel apple. So we made sure we picked some little ones to do the caramel apples with. We're gonna get one more sheet ready. And I think I can do mine last, which would be fine. I'm gonna just unwrap the caramels. We're gonna use 5 per small apple. On the bigger apples, we used about 8 to 10. And that was some apples that we did previously. You guys may have seen some of the pictures that we put up. We made some caramel apples for our friend Gluten Free Jenna. We just had her cute little baby. And we brought them to her for a little present. Okay, hold on. Alright, so once the caramels are a little bit melted like that, What we're gonna do is just take the apple and put it right in the middle.
I thought we were going to push it.
And we're gonna just squish up on this.
Can I do the next one?
Mommy's gonna do this one, okay, yeah. And then what we wanna do is we wanna flip it over because we wanna push the caramel down onto the apple. And it's a little bit hot, so you might want parental help on this one. If you have your kids doing it.
PG?
Yes, parental guidance, yep. Now you can let the caramel cool a little bit before you start working on it, and that'll give you a little bit more leverage because it gets very sticky.
I'm going to do the other one. Don't touch it.
Who's helping you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm just squishing up the caramel into the middle of the apple. Kind of evening it out a little bit, making sure it goes where I want it to go. And I'm going to try to peel that parchment off as quick as I can. And make sure when I peel back, I'm pressing that caramel into the apple. Now, this doesn't take a lot of time. They're very easy, but you have to kind of work fast. Okay, so once you've got it to where you want it, almost, right?
No touching.
Now you can actually turn it over, like I said, and just press down all of those little wrinkles that you have. Even it out a little bit. And by doing that, you're kind of just turning and pressing down. You're evening out the caramel on the apple. You want to make sure you get it all the way around. You want to cover your apple completely with that caramel. That's
Okay.
yummy. Pick an apple quickly.
What apple should I do?
This one's good, or this one, little red one is cute. So now that we have it coated with our caramel, the next step we're going to do is either chocolate or peanuts or chocolate and peanuts. So let me help you do that. First, should I do my espresso one? Jeremiah can melt some chocolate chips for us. We're going to just take a handful of Enjoy Life chocolate chips. We're going to melt them in the microwave for about 35 to 45 seconds. You want me to do it?
I got it.
Okay. Melting those chocolate chips is going to give us the access that we need to cover our apple. Drizzle it all over and make it look delicious and yummy. You want me to help you?
Yeah.
She's determined, as you guys know because you've seen her on the show before. She's always determined to do exactly what her mom's doing, right? So I'm going to do 4 on my little teeny tiny apple here. I think that will be enough for me. Take it off the plate now, pushing it. To work a little bit better off the plate. Mommy will use the plate to get hers melted. Is your mind ready? Okay, let's see. Take it off now. I'm going to work fast. You don't. Hold on. Let me do this part, please. You want to make sure you get the caramel off of the parchment paper quickly before it gets stuck in those wrinkles in the parchment paper. So you really have to press and pull back. Let me do this part, okay? So once you get it completely off the parchment paper, you can work a lot easier with it. See how you're getting stuck there? And definitely remember, it must be parchment paper, not wax paper.
Is that parchment paper?
Not deli paper.
Parchment paper, people.
Yep. Okay, so what we have here is Sophia's caramel apple, and she can work it now because it's completely free from the parchment paper. She can even work it with her hands. We're going to save this parchment. We'll just fold it over, away from the sticky parts, and we'll get that ready for the chocolate part. See, now my caramel apple is pretty cool. I've got only one bubble in there that I can work out with my hands, just like I did now. And I'm going to just make sure that I'm all covered. I want all caramel all the way around. Oh, I think that's going to have to go in more, honey. Sorry.
No.
Yep, a couple more, like 20 more seconds, okay? Jeremiah's stealing caramels. I know he is. He's stealing caramels from
He's
somewhere.
putting your caramel in.
Is he? Okay. Alright, so I'm folding over my parchment paper and getting ready for my chocolate. And I'm going to chop a little bit of peanuts because if you're nut free... Ooh, that looks great, Sophia. Put it down. We're going to chop some peanuts. If you're peanut free, omit the peanuts. Just do the caramel and the chocolate or the caramel. Go ahead, go get the chopper for the peanuts. These espresso cocoa mills are really yummy and delicious. You only need like 1 or 2 to satisfy yourself for the evening. It's a little special treat. All right, I just want to show you really quick. Hold on, move this over here. Take a few out and put them on there and we'll get rid of that.
Yeah, I have to do the chocolate on my apple.
I want to show you real quick that our cannolis are done. The tubes are very, very hot, but you need to remove, can you stop for a minute because I'm talking. You need to remove the cannoli shell from the tube. It's going to slide right off like that. Mine got a little crazy, look at that. Okay, and we're going to take those right off. Now, normally when I'm making cannolis, that's all that I will be doing because they take a lot of time and space. But as you can see, we have gluten on the end so we can fill it. Nice, thin, and crispy. Sophia's came out gorgeous. Look at that. Spectacular. Now those cannolis are ready to be eaten as soon as we fill them. Okay? What's the matter?
Nothing.
I'll chop those up more.
Can I do
We have our melted chocolate, our Enjoy Life chocolate chips that are gorgeous. And I'm going to just coat my apple with some chocolate. I'm going to start at the bottom. And I'm going to kind of let that run down the sides.
You don't need it.
I'm going to let that drip down the sides and make a really nice decorative caramel chocolate apple with peanuts. Now if you're nut free, you probably don't buy caramel apples either because they usually are made or prepared with nuts. So you can make your own, they don't take very long. And you can just do the caramel and the chocolate, leave the nuts off. And this would be dairy free.
And here, like,
This is dairy free and soy free and obviously gluten free. Alright, so you can make little swirls on the edges if you want to.
egg free, shellfish free,
Yep.
meat free, gluten free.
And I'm going to actually get some peanuts. Sophia, can you stop chopping for a moment? Good job. And I'm going to just put them all around the edges. Sophia wants to do sprinkles on hers, so I think they're going to get those
Can
pumpkin
I do
sprinkles, right?
chocolate with sprinkles?
Mm-hmm. So my caramel apple is going to sit to be ready to set up. Whose is this, Jeremiah?
That's the
Oh
coffee
no.
one.
Oh no. You gotta get that parchment paper off or you're gonna be in big trouble. You're gonna lose your caramel. You don't wanna lose your caramel. Yeah, this baby needs a little help. So we're gonna work on that.
You have to go to Dr. Dana.
We're gonna work on pushing that caramel around the whole apple.
I'm doing a design.
That's nice, honey. I like that. See how we lost some of the caramel in there? We don't want to do that. Now you can see this one is the espresso, so it's got actually little espresso nibs in there. It's fantastic. It's yummy. I'm just gonna kind of push this around a little bit. Jeremiah, would you get the pumpkin sprinkles for Sophia? Ooh, our pizzettes are done. Oh, they look so cute. Did you guys get to see those? Can you show them the pizzettes, Jeremiah? He's busy taking a little drink break. He's like a little tired. We worked him a little too hard. He's taking a break. Jeremiah. So we've got our pizzettes. Look at those. Show them how they rose. Go from the side view, honey. So they rose up nice. They're really cute. Okay. We're gonna coat these apples. And Sophia, you're doing a good job. Are you doing peanuts or no peanuts?
No.
Jeremiah, you getting sprinkles for her? Let me look at this. The pumpkin sprinkles, they should be right there. So she chopped up those nuts really nice now. If you don't have one of these, you can just put them in a bag and chop them, or you can use your regular food processor and chop them up. But she did these perfectly. Are you doing nuts too or no? No nuts, just that. Alright, I'm gonna need the chocolate when you're done.
There you go.
Ooh, look at that. She's doing the cross hatching. You know, they've been taking art classes with Aunt Jessica, who's the best artist I know. And And they've been learning all about techniques, so that's very cool, Sophia, that you did that.
Okay.
I'm gonna do just a little line of chocolate on here. Chocolate, coffee, caramel, and nuts. Oh my goodness, it's a spectacular version. And around this time, you see the caramel apples all over the place. And it's just pure torture to see that. We were at Nordstrom Cafe the other day, which I have to say kudos or shout out, congratulations, and a thank you to Jennifer and Chef Steven because they took really great care of us. I did not get sick. My whole family ate a beautiful gluten-free meal. And they used to have these big, huge caramel apples there. It was amazing.
Pretty apple.
You have this. Jeremiah, stop putting your fingers in everything. Jeremiah, stop putting your fingers in everything.
I have to make my fingers.
Oh my gosh, that's gross. Okay, so we've got our nice little decorative
What do you think of mine?
caramel apple. Beautiful. And very messy. And let's get those right here. Sophie,
I think
can
I'm
you go
ready.
wash off, please, and don't do that. So we're going to clean up our space here and get ready for our next item.
Mama,
Jeremiah, are you doing the apples? Are you caramelizing the apples and onions? Here. Here. Apples and onions on those little pizzettes with a little bit of goat cheese with the figs in it. It's going to be spectacular, but we need those apples caramelized. Jeremiah, you can take the onions out and start doing the apples now. All right, so
I'm caramelizing my finger.
your finger's not caramelized, but I can do the same thing. I got peanuts and
Oh!
chocolate.
No one gets blue.
Okay. Now that we've had our little snack, these need to go on a plate in the fridge. Come on, stop it. Oh, here we go. We'll take our cannolis off.
And the dough.
We'll put our apples right into the fridge. Let them set for a
My
little bit.
beautiful miss. Mom is beautiful.
Okay, you want to put that in the fridge for mommy, or just
Wait, I thought we
put
were
it over by
Philly.
Gluten Grandma for now. All right. I hope I don't have chocolate all over my face, but we have to get moving along to the cannoli cream. Sophia, would you get the stuff out for the cannoli cream? No, get the stuff out for the cream. We have to make the cream first, Sophia. Listen to me, please. She's very excited about using a new thing that she's going to show you. But first we have to do things in order, so we have to get that ready.
Is this the stuff for the cannoli cream?
Full.
Mom,
What, baby?
is this it?
The ricotta and the mascarpone?
Oh, there's this stuff.
No, that's already made. Alright, let's first clean up our space because we did make a mess with all those sprinkles and all those peanuts, but we're having a good time. And I know that any day that you're covered with flour is a really good day. That means you had fun and you made something delicious.
Perfect blending.
Okay, Sophia, we need the vanilla extract.
It's over there by you.
And we need the powdered sugar.
By you.
Alright, why are you putting everything in front where they can't see what you're doing? And I asked you to move the peanuts over there.
I didn't hear you.
Alright, that's why I'm asking you to do it again. Alright, so for our cannoli cream, if you're not familiar with the traditional style cannoli cream, it's ricotta cheese, mascarpone, use a little bit of vanilla or almond extract, and some powdered sugar. We're going to make a little bit for you now, but this has to set in the refrigerator. So we're just going to do about 2 tablespoons of mascarpone.
Can I do the ricotta?
So if I use the entire container of this ricotta cheese, I would use the entire container of the mascarpone. That would be about the proper ratio. Might be a little bit too much ricotta cheese, but that's okay. Go ahead, keep going until I tell you to stop. Right, so you're going to do about a cup of the ricotta cheese. Good girl. Now, if you're dairy free, you can do the tofu-y. They have like that tofu. Just leave the spoon in there. Stop tapping your face. We're going to do just a splash of vanilla extract, just a tiny bit. You can do cinnamon if you like in there. That's kind of traditional too. And we're going to do some powdered sugar. I'm just going to actually pour it right into there. About a half a cup of powdered sugar.
You're my powdered sugar.
Go ahead, start stirring. Don't fluff.
Right.
Woo. Got it. Powdered sugar, smoke.
Right here.
Right.
forgot, once you stir it up, you need to put it in the refrigerator covered with plastic and let it sit. He's chocolating his finger.
It's delicious. It's delicious.
Jeremiah, stop.
Jeremiah, try peanuts next time.
Okay, Sophia's got that stirred up. Can I have it, please? Come on, put the ricotta cheese away. Now, it's really smooth and very creamy. You can see it's still thick, but it's really smooth and creamy. You want to make sure you break up all those powdered sugar little puffies that you have in there. Stir it up. You want to taste it and make sure it's the flavor that you like. That's good. It's not too sweet and it's not too cheesy. We're going to cover this with some plastic wrap. Sophia, can you get the plastic wrap and cover this, please?
Yeah.
And then what we're going to do is get our filling ready for our cannolis. All right, stop doing that, please. Go wash your hands now. All right, so whenever I turn my back and they're sneaking something in the background, I want you guys to tell me, because I don't see them. But I can play it back. I have proof. Now you have chocolate all over your face. Jeremiah, I see you back there. All right, so what we're going to do next is we're going to bring out the cannoli cream. Sophia calmly is going to get her things out. You have to go wipe your face off. You have chocolate all over it. So this is our cannoli cream that was actually sitting in the refrigerator. Can you wait for me, please? You're rushing me. I feel like it. Now this one's a little bit loose. We could have used a little bit more either mascarpone or powdered sugar. I prefer to use the mascarpone because it does stiffen it up more than the powdered sugar because it makes it too sweet. But I think we'll just have to do with what we have now. And Sophia has something she'd like to show you.
Can I get the box?
Okay. Jeremiah, would you get us some cannoli
These
sauce,
are
please?
my piping bags. This.
Just get like here.
And
Take
I
this,
have
Jeremiah.
all these piping bags
Here.
that you
Take this
get
and just
with
put
it.
the cannoli shell on it.
But it's called Little Oodle Doodle.
Little oodle doodle.
And you can cut them to the size you want and to how you want it to be decorated.
The lower you cut it, the smaller it's going to pipe out. The higher you cut it, the bigger of a star point that you'll get. You're going to do it just in the middle right here.
Yeah, that's where
Yeah, so I have the scissors here.
that's
All right,
where the
so I'm going to cut it for her, and I'm going to show you, hopefully this works, because this is the first time we're using it. Jeremiah, put them right here. Thank you. So it's got little points inside of it, so hopefully it's going to do a little star point on it. But our dough, our cream isn't that stiff. I
There's
don't know
a
how
clip
we're going to do.
thingy.
Yep. So what we're going to do is fill it.
Oh, is that to put on the top?
Yes. We're going to fill this. Get rid of that. To fill your pastry, you might want to use a glass jar like we use. We're going to put the cream inside. Hopefully it's not going to run out. It is a little runny, more than usual. Okay, so when you take it up, you want to make sure you come out of the glass. Thank you. And you pull down on the bottom part and not squeeze it. You want to take the air out, fix your bag nice, turn, and go ahead, put the clip on. Now the clip comes with it, which is spectacular because they give you the clip and then you just go like that and it keeps it closed. And then patience. We're going to put this to the side because we're going to fill our cannolis in just a moment.
Don't.
Put that away, please, over there.
It tastes good.
Jeremiah, can you give me the spaghetti squash? All right, we have a little bit more time. We're going to quickly get to our spaghetti squash and our pizzettes. Jeremiah, if you start bringing me everything to plate now.
I got the pizza.
So these are some of my favorite things. And for my birthday, I like to have what I want. So this is a spaghetti
It's
squash.
true.
We roasted this in the oven for about an hour. Now I'm going to show you what I do with it. What I like to do with it anyway. going to cut off the big end.
In butternut squash, that's where the seeds are, the end.
I'm going to cut off the other end. And I'm going to peel the skin off. Now you can see it's kind of crunchy. Not with this part, okay? Now it's going to come right off that skin. It's going to be so easy to take off all that. Look at that nice shell. Isn't that awesome? I love that. And then you just get rid of it. And then the next step that you would do in order to get ready for your food, ooh, I just dropped our forks. To get ready to plate your meal is you can cut this into rounds like this, and they'll make like little nests. All you have to do is take out the seeds inside, which we're gonna do. Show you guys the seeds from the outside, right? Take out those seeds, and we have a nice little round, look at that, a round, can you see that? We have a nice little round nest. Now that nest can hold your meatball, your sausage, your bones, whatever it is that you want, and you're gonna cover the top with a little bit of sauce. Jeremiah's gonna cover that with a little bit of sauce for us, and we're gonna take a few bites. Why don't you get the cheese so we can grate it? All right, here's our gorgeous little pizzettes. Look at these, they're so nice and fluffy. Gluten-free grandma, what do you think of this? Nice and fluffy, right?
We need
Get the goat cheese.
the seeds.
No, we need the regular cheese for this. The goat cheese for this. Jeremiah did a great job caramelizing our onions and our apples. They're spectacular. Yeah, thank you. That's right. We need a little sauce on there, Jeremiah, please.
A little sauce.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is you can do like a pizzette bar if you wanted to, and you can kind of put these all together in a basket or on a nice platter. Just kind of line them up and put your toppings together and let everybody do their own thing.
Okay.
That would be a fun little thing to do, right? Okay, Sophia, you're in charge. Napkins. We don't really need too many forks today, but we will give everybody a fork. We hope you guys BYON. Because if you're not drooling over this beautiful spaghetti squash and our little pizzettes, and of course, the all omnipotent, spectacular, delicious, gluten-free cannolis, you guys may not have any taste buds left. All right, so what we have is our little goat cheese with fig. This is such a little nice special treat for us. All right, Sophia, I'll make you a pizza. How about that?
Okay, that sounds good.
That sounds good. All right, so we just top it with it. Now you can put everything back in the oven and bake it all together, but how much fun is this to make your own little thing? All right, so we have a little bit of our onions.
I want that.
I think you might like it. Do you trust Mommy?
Yes.
Okay. A little bit of our apples. And then what we're gonna do is just take a teeny tiny bit of that goat cheese and let it melt on the top. Wait, what are you doing? You're having a full feast over here. No one's even ready. Thank you, Jeremiah. All right. A little bit of fake goat cheese.
That's very good.
We're gonna just kind of put that right on the top like that.
Oy,
We might need a little bit of salt and pepper because I didn't tell Jeremiah to season anything. But I think that you might like this.
I'll give
You want
this
to
to
take a
you.
shot or you want to give it to me first? Okay. So now what you can do is you can set up your own little pizza. Okay, you want this one? And you want
Everything you just
everything I just did. We're going to make a little nice little pizzette. Got caramelized onions and apples. And we've got a nice little goat cheese with fig. That's going to be unbelievable. Jeremiah, we're going to let him take a picture of that.
Oh,
And you can fill the cannoli shell while he's still with it.
Ooh, okay.
All right, so Sophia's going to do her favorite thing and fill the cannoli shell. And I'm going to cut another
It's my
slice
first favorite.
of spaghetti squash.
Okay, here we go. Let I'm done.
Carefully, hold it up. Do half and then turn it over and do the other half. And then of course what we have for the end of the cannolis, you cannot do without, is our little mini Enjoy Life chocolate chips. Now we have a lot of places to go this weekend and we do not want to be dessertless. So we are actually going to pack up, go ahead. Wow, that's beautiful, Sophia, great job. You can pack up your cannoli kit. You could put your 2 cannolis with your piping bag of cannoli cream and your little Enjoy Life chocolate chips right into your to-go container. You're doing awesome, baby. Keep going. Some more in there. More. No, just fill it up. There you go, Victor. There you go. And we're gonna take this with us to go to our little party that we have. We have a nice cannoli kit. Now you can fill them ahead of time or you can fill them when you get there, but you know that everybody's gonna be drooling. So you might wanna pack a napkin in there with you. You wanna BYON when you go to your party too. So Sophia's gonna do, you wanna do your little one too over there?
I don't think I have enough.
Yeah, you could fill it up more. But it's time for us to go. So why don't you just put this down for now? No. I can't do that when you're gonna feed other people. Alright, so we have to go now. Wait, I want you guys to each take a couple bites. Take a bite of the
This is
pizza.
mine, this is mine.
Share it with Jeremiah. Come over here, Jeremiah, please.
Good.
You take
I'm
one
gonna have
bite.
a bite of the spaghetti
Only
squash.
one.
I wanted a little bit of
Okay.
cheese on that, but that's
No.
okay. That tomato sauce is spectacular. I'm gonna make myself a little pizzette since Sophia and Jeremiah are sharing that one. You guys share that and share the cannoli. Sophia, please, we have more to make. Don't worry about it.
You have
And I love to have a little bit of this and a little bit of that. That's always my favorite meal. Whenever I go out with my friend Linda, we always have nice tapas at her house. She always makes us delicious food. This would be right up her alley. So here, Linda, take a bite. Oh my goodness.
Delicious.
Calm down. Wow. This is amazing. You can't take it, can you? Go ahead.
Hey, that's mine.
A little bit of powdered sugar on the cannoli.
We're
Jeremiah, go
sharing.
ahead and eat it. There's more. I love pizzettes. We made some grain-free ones. We made some grain-free pizzettes for Jeremiah, but that'll have to be another show. We don't have any time. It's time to go, right? Well, Sophia, what did you enjoy the most? The pizzette. She got a cannoli in her hand, but she enjoyed the pizzette the most. Jeremiah, what about you? Well, we
I'll
didn't
wait
get to
till
eat
I'll
our
try the
caramel.
caramel apple.
Oh, let's get the caramel apple and try it. I'll cut it up real quick. We're gonna have a caramel apple. We don't want to forget about that. Oh my goodness. So bring it over here, Jeremiah.
It's crunchy
Get
and
right
then
in front.
it's crunchy and then soft.
Oh yeah. And let's try our caramel apple. Now we have delicious fresh apples from the farm. You know that they're not going to be rotten inside when you cut them, which is what I absolutely hate about caramel apples. Go ahead, Jeremiah. Sophie, you want a piece? That caramel on the outside is so delicious. And the peanuts and the chocolate on the outside is so yummy. I'm going to have a little bite. I'm making a huge mess. A little chewy. You like that? Caramel's getting stuck. I love that. It's hard to talk or chew.
I love it.
When you're eating a caramel apple, make sure you don't talk with food in your mouth. Like we're doing right now, I apologize. Alright, so you guys, now what was your favorite? Pizzette still, Sophia says. Jeremiah says pizzette. And I have to agree. The
Good for
pizzette
you.
was
What's your
definitely
favorite?
delicious. She didn't have really anything yet, did
Pizza
she?
was delicious.
Pizzette was delicious. So as we celebrate today, my birthday, I want to most of all thank my mom because she prayed for me and she was strong enough to stay up at night and through the night pray that I would be healed and that obviously my heart, that's why I have my heart shirt on, that my heart would be good. And here I am 45 years later and I thank to my mom.
Thank you.
I love my mom and my two kids and I'm very grateful to be here and I'm thankful to share with all of you. We want you to come, taste and see how good it is to be gluten-free. Have a delicious weekend and ciao for now. Jeremiah,
Caramel.
go ahead and turn off the
Stuck.
camera. Caramel stuck. Bye guys, God bless. Have a great weekend.
I need more.
Aprons by REM Designs. Wardrobe by Tula Boutique.
Hair by Sapnique, makeup by Artistry. Follow us on livestream, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, and YouTube at ABC Gluten Free. ABC Gluten Free is a production of American Bots. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao.